tell us about sustainability and transformation plans briefly, because this is a big thing in the NHS at the minute. Tories dividing it up across the country into 44 areas. What's the deal with that? What's going on with STPs?
Basically, they involve breaking up England into 44 footprints where services will be integrated together, but actually the STPs are being used as a mechanism to implement £22 billion worth of cuts. They will also have the power to sell off assets from the health service, and by assets I mean things like land, buildings and services. I
think the thing is as well, I mean, if you look at the likes of Richard Branson, he's going to love this, isn't he? Richard Branson's going to love it. Only the other week it was announced, £700 million contract he got with the NHS. This is kind of his game, if you like. He could literally snap up whole areas of the NHS. Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that for a little while, but what the STPs allow the likes of Richard Branson and other sort of privateers to do is to buy it up in nice 44 footprint-sized areas, and that's the reason actually that we're assembling here today at Tavistock Square, because not a lot of people realise, but this is actually the headquarters of Virgin Healthcare in the UK.
I want an NHS for my daughter's future. That's why I'm here. The idea of not having it is terrifying.
Do you both work in the NHS?
No. Completely new to it until last year when they decided that they were going to close our A&E, and the campaign was launched and we've been going ever since.
So it's your sort of community feeling the strain of that A&E being closed down?
Very much, because Huddersfield's one of the largest towns in the country, and as it is, they're trying to cut back Dewsbury's, which is the next best, and they're trying to reduce the number at Halifax as well. So if ours goes, the whole of Kirklees has no A&E. So we need to fight it.
Of course, you know, with the current financial situation in the country, and you know, there's been, you know, such a huge number of cutbacks to loads of public sector organisations. Is there any other option to cut it?
Fund it properly. Stop selling it off, stop stripping it back, and put the money back in so it works properly like it was set up to do.
Well, they have said they have no money to fund the NHS properly, but they're sat on millions of pounds that they don't want to spend on the NHS or anything.
They'd rather spend it on bombs instead of fixing people. The way that I see it is, if you've got money to spend on killing people, you've got money on spending on curing people.
There's so much time.
You know, I can tell you, the biggest city in the southwest, like beyond Bristol, is Plymouth. 5 months ago, Plymouth had about 25 households in temporary accommodation, in bed and breakfast style temporary accommodation, that's emergency accommodation. Right now, and I was speaking to someone at Plymouth only this week, and it's about 80. So, you know, that's homelessness. But what happens to people when they're out on the street? They get ill, they die, or they end up in hospital. And the average age of death of street homeless people in this country is 45 for men and 43 for women. Absolute, you know, it's a mockery of civilization and a total disgrace in this country.
Well, along with Ealing Council, who rejected it exactly the same time as us, we just thought it was a document that had contained in it the cut of from 8 hospitals to 5, and STPs all around the country have got similar things where they are putting forward the Tory government's cuts to the NHS in these documents. We don't think that's in any way sustainable, and we are fighting against it very, very clearly in Hammersmith and Fulham, along with Ealing Council.
So would you urge other councils to follow your lead and do the same about the STPs?
I would urge every other council to recognise that STPs come with a catch, and part of that catch is a Tory government's plan to reduce spending on the NHS and to bring about cuts. And I would ask them to, if that's in any STP document, then it just can't be signed.
Okay.
Well, it's like Great Britain. It's quite a big statement to call the country great. Like, to actually have the word great in the country's name. And over the past few years, especially of late, many of us are questioning what makes this country great. I guess we've got a strong economy. Tell that to the working class. We've got democracy, though none of us wanted to bomb Iraq. We've got honest policies, while families are left to starve. We've got the monarchy. Come on, you have to laugh. We were quite a nation with social stability. We had free education before the new tuition fees. We did things efficiently, we ran self-sufficiently, we had a strong pound and a proud wealth of industries. We had British Steel, British Rail, British Gas, Royal Mail, a whole coal industry before they aborted that. We had social welfare before George snorted that. We were multicultural before we had the Brexit vote. Housing was affordable before we saw the rents explode. We had social housing before the Tories smashed it down. We had human rights and stuff, but they're all being retracted now. So I'm sure you'll appreciate, especially of late, many of us are questioning what makes this country great. But despite any divisions or difference of opinions, we'll all agree that Britain has a great health system. And that's what we're here to fight for today. The Tories are disposable. Let's look after everybody. Your love.
Privatisation, no way, the NHS is here to stay.
If you're feeling sick or ill, they'll bandage wounds, prescribe your pills. They'll do their best, you know they will. God save our NHS. Doctors and nurses out on call or working in the hospital. Let's sing this song for one and all and save our NHS. God bless the NHS, the doctors and the nurses. God bless the NHS, our National Health Service is overworked and underpaid, but we still love it anyway. Let's make sure it's here to stay. God bless the NHS. Our parents and their parents strive to build it up all of their lives. We'll work hard until we die to save our NHS. 'Cause it's been paid for by people's taxes. Now you know just what the facts is. Wise up for you, grind your axes, save our NHS. God bless the NHS, the doctors and the nurses. God bless the NHS, our National Health Service is overworked and underpaid, but we still love it anyway. Let's make sure it's here to stay. God bless the NHS. Politicians, open up your eyes. It's not yours to privatise. You don't own it, now realise it's our NHS. And if you sell off what's not yours to sell, it's for sure you'll rot in hell. Take this advice now, please pray tell, and save our NHS. God bless the NHS, the doctors and the nurses. God bless the NHS, our National Health Service is overworked and underpaid, but we still love it anyway. Let's make sure it's here to stay. God bless the NHS. If you get sick in the USA, you might just have to pay and pay, right up until you pass away. Save our NHS. It's much better here in GB, safer in an emergency. I'm begging please down on my knees, save our NHS. God bless the NHS, the doctors and the nurses. God bless the NHS, our National Health Service is overworked and underpaid, but we still love it anyway. get down on your knees and pray. God bless the NHS. God bless our NHS.
Tell us about sustainability and transformation plans briefly, because this is a big thing in the NHS at the minute. Tories dividing it up across the country into 44 areas. What's the deal with that? What's going on with STPs?
Basically, they involve breaking up England into 44 footprints where services will be integrated together, but actually the STPs are being used as a mechanism to implement £22 billion worth of cuts. They will also have the power to sell off assets from the health